or auto insurance in America. You open the phone book and you find an auto insurance company or a life insurance company or a homeowner's insurance company, and you call them and you ask them for a quote. If you want to buy health insurance, you can't do that. You can't do that because the Congress has said, if you as an individual want to buy health insurance, you must buy it with after-tax dollars. How many people want to go out and spend 30 or 40% more for something than their employer can spend to get the same thing? Nobody's going to do that. Why do we let employers buy our health care for us? Are we too stupid to buy health care? I don't think so. But let me explain how it works. The white pages for the Phoenix metropolitan area are about, somebody tell me, 8 inches thick, right? The business white pages for the Phoenix metropolitan area are how thick? 1 inch? You got it. So we got 8 inches here, 1 inch here. If I'm an auto insurance salesman, a life insurance salesman, or a homeowner's insurance salesman, I've got to sell and market and advertise and compete for everybody in the 8-page book. The gentleman that was just here a few minutes ago who was in the health insurance business, does he have to sell to the people in that 8-page book? Does he have to make his product competitive for all of those people? Does he have to try to convince you and I? Does he run ads on TV or on the radio saying, please buy my health insurance plan? Heck no! He didn't care about you and me. He sells to about half the people in the 1-inch thick book. Because the only people that can buy his product at a 1/4 less cost, at actually 33 1/3 to 40% less cost, are business owners. You and I can't buy his product. If we do, we're going to pay 40% more for it. That's just wrong.
Why is that?
It's because the tax code is written. Actually, it's a historical anomaly. You want to know how this happened? People ought to know it. During World War II, the government imposed wage and price controls and said to American businesses, you can't give your employees a raise unless you come to me, the government, and ask permission to give them that raise. Employers in America said, how are we going to attract and keep our best employees? They said, well, why don't we give them employee benefits? So they went to the government and they said, can we give benefits to our employees without getting permission from the government? And the federal government said yes. What was the most popular benefit? Healthcare benefits. And then the employer said, okay, if I give my employee a $1,000 pay increase, he or she has to pay 1/3 in taxes, right? Because it's taxable. So what they said, if we give our employees healthcare benefits, do they have to pay, does the employee have to pay income tax on the value of that healthcare plan? Answer from the IRS, and you can go get this ruling yourself, answer was no. So if your employer gives you $1,000 cash to go buy a health insurance plan, you pay $333 or $400 of that $1,000 to the government in taxes. But if you give your employee a $1,000 healthcare plan, your employee gets a $1,000 healthcare plan. So we've incentivized all these businesses to give you healthcare benefits. And if you and I got to pick the plan, and it was our choice, but our employer paid the bill, that'd be fine with me, because then we could fire it. But the code says they buy the plan, they control the plan, and you and I are just slaves. We're servants. We are out of the loop. If we hate that plan, too bad. If we hate that plan, and by the way, here's an interesting one. You want to cause a little trouble at your employer's office? The IRS code says that if in fact your employer gives you the cash and you spend it on healthcare benefits, it's not taxable to him and not taxable to you. Now, your employer doesn't know that, and HIPAA probably makes that illegal. But imagine if the code said that you can go to your employer and say, give me, you're going to spend $1,000 on my healthcare, I'll pick a plan, you send them a check, now I'm the boss. Then, let's do that. That's my bill. The point is, we can put people in charge of their own health care, and we can force the health insurance industry to compete for the 6 inches or 8 inches of customers and run ads asking us to buy their product and tell us why their product's better than somebody else's product. Like a little Geico says all the time, hey, we offer a better plan, or the guy that sells Allstate. He says Allstate's a better plan. We can make them sell health insurance to us the way they sell auto insurance to us. We can put competition into the system. We can make them respond. You read the stories, there's a big article in New Yorker magazine a couple weeks ago that pointed out how doctors and hospitals in big towns don't much care about cost control. You know why they don't care about cost control? They don't care about cost control because they're selling to employers who aren't driven by, like you and I. Anytime somebody else spends your money, they're not going to spend it as carefully as you do. Trust me. I don't know who's that. Please fill out, there are 2 questionnaires we'd really like you to fill out. One is any questions you have for me that I didn't get to answer, and one is the survey that asks you to explain what's going on with you. What kind of health insurance you have, whether you like it, whether you don't, whether you want a single payer plan or a patient choice plan like I've been describing. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, assuming this passes and in 2012 we take the White House back, is this easy to rescind or change back? And finally, just one last thing too. I wish a group of Republicans would stand up to Nancy Pelosi and all those and say, we are real people. And I couldn't sleep last night with her face saying that over and over in my head.
Her first question was, if this does pass, as they have the numbers to make it happen, they now have more than a 70 vote margin in the House, they have a filibuster-proof Senate, absent an uprising by the American people. It will pass, but we're now seeing an uprising by the American people. If it passes, can we repeal it? Answer is we can. Answer is, if it passes, will we repeal it? It is extremely, extremely difficult to repeal any government program once it's been put in place. That is a very, very, very risky proposition. As for Nancy Pelosi, I think as many people know, she has a very, very different vision of America. She has a vision of America which is stunningly to the left. And in some ways, that's what motivated all of you to be here today. So,
gets fired and becomes one of us.
There you go.
Yeah, she's
yes, sir.
Potential change in mind. I want to reiterate what the Congressman said earlier. We have got to stay engaged in this. This is the citizens of America in action, and we have got to keep this fire burning so we can get this thing off the books.
Before you ask this question, let me just say, please understand what I said earlier. There is a tendency to think you are only engaged when you are writing a congressman or emailing a congressman or writing a senator or emailing a senator. Trust me. Tell your friends, tell your barber, tell your hairdresser, tell your bag checker at the checkout stand at the grocery store. You are all, because you all cared enough to come here today, you all are informed Americans who are respected by people who know you. They know you pay attention. And you tell them this bill is terrible. If you tell them we ought to have a patient-driven or patient choice-driven healthcare system, your employer shouldn't pick your healthcare plan. By the way, let me stop right there. When your employer buys your healthcare plan, think about this question for a minute. Do you think he's spending his money or your money? Mine. He's spending your money. When your employer buys your healthcare plan, he's spending your money. So why shouldn't you be able to spend that money instead of him? Nothing against the employer. The tax code is incentivizing him to do it, but it's your money. You ought to be able to buy that plan. You ought to be able to hire the employer. You ought to be able to get your wife to the doctor she wants to go to. Your employer shouldn't make that decision. You should. I think I said that in a commercial last year. Okay, go ahead.
Good commercial. Can you address pages 58 and 59 where it talks about the electronic transfer of funds according to the Secretary's directive?
Yeah. This is a question that has come up repeatedly. I knew it would come up today, although I'm surprised it hadn't come up earlier. Maybe.